Actually, these are some of my best switchblade knives. Some of them are assisted opening, but they might as well be switchblades for the way they open up. Some of the assisted openers are freaking slick as snot, and really no difference other than the legality. Let me go with this one first. This is a Boker Kalashnikov 74. What I like about it is, well, you know, it's got a strong clip on it. It's aluminum body, and there's no safety. The safety is the fact that the button's recessed. So if you press the button in, it opens up real fast, and to lock it, you press the button in again. That releases the mechanism. It's very simple. So, you know, you really don't need to learn anything much. Like, there's another mechanism to unlock it. It's the same mechanism that opens it and locks it, right? And to close it, to unlock it. It's got the serrated edge, which is not more lethal, but it's very freaking handy for cutting your plastic zip ties and wire stripping and stuff, and cutting hose. But somehow they make it more lethal sometimes. In some places they'll say that's not a standard knife or something. It locks into place really fine. This one is a buck knife. It's got very good steel on it. It's the 420 high carbon, which they got their own proprietary heat treat. This opens up. It's not a switchblade, but this is by far the easiest assisted opener I've ever seen. It's got not a liner lock. It's got this kind of lock back here. You got to press it to unlock it, and every time you take it off, you close it, you got to put the safety on manually. You know, because if you actually had the safety, say for instance you open it up again, so you had the safety on, as you close it, the safety goes off. So you got to put the safety back on. It's the only thing you got to remember. This is an assisted opener. This is a very slick one, though. It's very quick. The only thing I wish this knife had, it's a liner lock. The only thing it's okay though. It lines up. The liner lock hits right smack in the middle. It's fine. It's got the clip on there. It's got the two bears in the moon. This bad boy, I think, is excellent because it's so slick. Yet it's a cheap knife, man. It's not much. It's not much. It's got a nice design on it. The one thing is, I wish it had a serrated edge. I find a serrated edge great. This one opens up just as slick. It's an assisted opener. It's not a true switchblade. USMC design, whatever. Very quick opener, right? Now, I want to go over to a few Italian switchblades here because this one is Sicilian style. You notice it's got the end on it. You slide the lever down, you press this button, it opens up. It's a big one. I think it's 12 inches overall. And when you go from a 9-inch knife to a 12-inch knife, it's a lot thicker, a lot meatier, the whole thing. It's a pull ring, so you pull this ring to unlock it, and you close it. It's nice. It's a nice knife, man. See, it's a kitchen knife. This one is a Frank B. This is Italian made. It's Campoline, I think it is, or something. I forgot what it is. It's Sicilian. Campoline is manufactured in North Italy, but Sicilian style. This one's a Frank Beltrame, Frank B, tactical style. Safety's off. Just press the button. Boom. A lot of times I oil these with that stuff. I forget what you call it again now. It's Barricade. Barricade. It's better than WD-40 because it doesn't wear off. And this thing works slick as snot. So you just close it like with the bolster, right? Once you close it, once you hit that bolster, it closes real easy. Very, very good blade, but it's also got this serrated edge on it, which I like. It's about very few of these Italian switchblades have serrated edges. This would absolutely be my favorite knife if this had a serrated edge. But I wasn't sold on these lever locks. This is it wasn't much money. This is a green Pearl X. It's all stainless steel. It's very, very sharp, man. I don't know what kind of stainless steel it is, but it's probably better than the standard 448 that a lot of the knives come with, because it's how sharp it is. But I also like this because when I put it in my boot, I don't have to worry about, because the lock is this is the lock. So if you have this in your boot, you got to watch that the button doesn't get hit, right? This one, no problem, and it's quick. See, in other words, you press that down, and that's how you close it too, right? So if you put this up like that, and as you press this down, it opens up. Then you put it that way, just get it out of your way. Then to close it, you press this down and close it that way. Very quick, very quick. Now a couple of these other knives, I had these featured before. This is I don't know, it was like a 2-for-1 special for $10, 2 for $10. This is the little guy. The little guy opens up quick. It says Rebel on it. This is aluminum handle. The liner lock goes right smack in the middle and ain't screwing up nowhere. It actually fits in your hand pretty good. Just a little small guy. It's got the clip on it. It's probably pretty solid little thing because it was 2 for $10. There's a bigger one in this, but this little guy, I'm showing it because it opens up slick as snot. It's aluminum handle. This one I like, even though it's plastic, right? It's not the strongest knife in the world. It's got the clip on it. I like it because the clip is facing in the right direction. So if you have it down like this, when you hit this button, the clip is like that. It's like right where you're picking the knife up, your finger's right here. I modified this knife several times over to make the liner lock engage fully, and also to open up. This opens up. This was this was my worst assisted opening knife. Now it's just as good as like the better ones. After I screwed around with the little nub on here and some adjustments, and the liner lock, I made it just a hair loose. Very, just, I mean, it's like basically maybe a couple 10,000ths of an inch play in there, like nothing. It's way under 1,000th of an inch, but just enough that I can disengage the liner lock real easy with one hand and close it and open it. I like it because it's got the Confederate flag, but now it's a very slick opening and closing one. I keep this one on my boot all the time, and this one on my boot all the time, on my other boot. That's on my left boot, that's on my right boot. That goes in a leather holder. This clips on the boot itself. Those are always carry. But I can tell you any one of these bad boys is excellent. The one thing that's a disadvantage of these type with the push button on the Italian is this button could open up while you have it in your pocket, unless you have it like this with the safety. But then it's 2 steps, right? And those 2 steps to me is not that quick. Those 2 steps is slower than you've taken an assistant opener. Otherwise, you know, in the bolster one, actually the bolster one's probably easier than the pull ring, because when you do this, you put this down like this, go like that, and you close it, right? So you go boop. Oops, yeah, I had my finger in the way there, and then popped it open. You don't want to do that. You definitely want to have your finger in the way when it's closing, but when it's opening, you're hitting the back side of the blade, so it's not a problem. So, yeah, it's quick. It's tactical black. It's you don't have to worry about it getting screwed up because of that reason. But this one I carry more because it's got the Confederate flag on it. That's why I worked on it until I've got it to work better. But if you want to carry a little knife with a Confederate flag, this guy is good. For the money, it's crazy, you know. Probably the most practical carry might be this Boker 74. I mean, I can't knock any of them though, you know. I mean, I like the buck too. I mean, but the Boker with the one button with the serrated edge and one button to close it, you know what I'm saying? It's like in other words, if you practice with this knife, and the Boker's got, well, this has very good steel too. I think this has got OS 8, and that's got 420 high carbon. This one right here, the buck. The buck's made in USA, though. It's a thing. Yeah, they're not much money. None of these are that much money. I mean, yeah, the Italian switchblades are a little more money. This was like 100-something bucks, you know. But this was only like $59. That was $69. They're not crazy money. I don't spend crazy money on blades. You're not getting that much more for what the hell you're paying for them, right? I mean, I got some KABARS and shit, but I'm just talking about these switchblades. This thing probably would be one of the best ones to carry if you only carried one knife, because you keep this in a pocket and it's not going to go off with the recessed button. You got to actually physically hit it in the right spot, and it's like easy. Like once you get skilled at it, you know that's the button. Open and close it, and it's aluminum handle. It's got the clip on there, and it's got the serrated edge. So that's the one thing I don't like about some of the other knives, because this, let's see, that safety's on. No serrated edge, right? No serrated edge. No serrated edge. Not on this one either, excuse me, right? Not on this one, right? Not on this one. And not on the lever. This one I would have really liked with serrated edge. This one locks up quick. So there's only two with a serrated edge. I got some other ones serrated edge. I don't have them out here, but this one's got a serrated edge. But this is not a heavy-duty knife like the Boker, and it doesn't have a clip on it. You know, this is not. I mean, you could say it's collection. They say collection and not everyday carry. This is everyday carry, but this, I would carry this too, and there's no problem, man. I mean, I don't give a shit if they tell me it's for collection and looking at. I don't have any knives that are just for looking at. I use every single one of these damn knives here and there. I rotate them. So the serrated edge is a biggie in my book. That's probably why the Boker is. If this thing had a serrated edge, ooh, I mean, you could probably put one on there. If you're a knife specialist, you put a serrated edge on this bad boy. This would be ultimate. I like that. I like this mechanism. This mechanism is nice, and the knife looks. This knife looks nicer than a Boker. Okay. I mean, wait a minute. This one's good. This is the buck with the lock back. Excuse me. This knife looks nicer than the Boker, in my opinion. You know. And it's a fairly stout blade too, right? It's not bad. Fairly stout blade. But yeah, I guess if I was going to pick one only, and it's the one I actually don't carry all the time, it would probably be this Boker 74. It's got the best. It's got really good steel. I think it's Ozark. It's good steel. It's aluminum handle, no plastic. Serrated edge, one mechanism. Very slick, very strong. It's got the lanyard hole on it. You know, it's got this stuff on here. Grip it. Grips in your hand over there, in your palm of your hand right here. So in other words, if you have it like this, and you got it down here and you're pressing with your hand, it won't slip forward because you got that. So, anyway, just figured to do a quick little update on that shit, because that's just my experience. I mean, I like all these things. And I got more on the way. I got more knives on the way. I thought I was going to stop buying knives, but decided to get some more for just to leave in a Jeep and a El Camino and shit. You know, some of these other ones I wouldn't want to leave in there, because if they disappeared, I'd be pissed off. Even if they're cheap, because I don't know if, you know, this is a cheap one, but who the hell knows how long they don't make this anymore. Just, I like the way this thing looks, man. It's got a couple bears and a moon on it, right? It's a moonshine knife. Anyway, over and out. So I'd advise you to buy the knives now, even if they're made in China, as long as they're pretty good shit. I mean, as long as they're not, a lot of people got good reviews on them. All these knives I like, because if the dollar loses half its value against the yuan, I'm not saying the dollar's going to lose half its value against every currency, but against the yuan, all this stuff made in China is going to be unaffordable, and you wish you got it, versus, you know, toys. And these aren't toys, these are tools. You know, women consider them toys, but I consider them, they are tools. I don't know how many times I use a freaking knife. And even if you want to not buy kitchen cutlery, all this could be kitchen cutlery. You got custom kitchen cutlery right there. Even though it's not the right stuff, I use it for every damn thing. Man, I use this shit to cut lunch meat with, and freaking Italian bread. I cut Italian bread with my Sicilian. Okay? Cut Italian bread with it. It's unsliced. I do it for everything with these damn knives. Work on a car with them. Work in, you know, cut parts with them, and then you know, then I use them in the kitchen. The same knife. Sometimes I don't even wash them off. That's hardcore, right? Anyway, colloidal silver. That's why you got colloidal silver. Drink a lot of that, you'll be okay.